Hey there, I'm Terry Thomas, and welcome to Terry's Next Chapter. Today I'm going to be talking about my December TBR. These are the books I hope to read in December. The way my TBRs work is I love lots of different kinds of genres. I mostly lean into character-driven stories. The more I do this stuff, I find that I really like lit fic more than anything because I love real character-driven stories and that feel real in real life. So, but a lot of times can be on the heavier side, not always, but they can be. So I like to mix it in with some lighter stuff. I do love romance, but I like better when they're not as tropey and when they're more character driven as well. So I'm going to be exploring today some holiday romances. There's a few of those on here that I want to try out. I tried to do a search for more character driven stories, so we'll find out because I don't really know much about these stories. I did do a little lookup just so I get a little overview. I have a lit fic. I have a favorite author that I've been reading, one of her new books. I have a curiosity pick, and then I also have one that I've actually been reading, this big epic thing tome that's like 1,000 pages that I want to finish by the end of the year. So I will talk about all of those and share. And so, okay. So first up is a book that was actually chosen by my school book club that I'm in at work. And the first one I want to talk about is Marry Me by C.R. Jane. Now, what I know about this is there's a group of friends in my book club at work that have been reading this really spicy series. It's called Wrong Player Series. I think it's hockey romance or but spicy. I haven't read it yet, but this book, Marry Me, was chosen by one of those people in my book club who've been reading that. And there's a character from that. Her name is Natalie. And so that's what this book is about, Marry Me. So if you've read or are reading the Wrong Player series, this is Natalie from that series. This is supposed to be a little less spicy. I don't mind spice, so I'm going to try it out. It's more new adult age, like college age people. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It's a standalone holiday rom-com. I think I read that there's some forced proximity here with an ex, maybe some second chance romance as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna check it out. Like I said, it's a book club pick. I like to stay up with my book club. I have so much fun with that at work. If you're not a part of a in-person book club, that is super fun too, because it's just fun to get together every month and hang out with some girls I like. Okay, so the next couple of books, I did just like a search, I think in like ChatGPT for more character-driven holiday romances to see if I could find. So just gonna test these out. One that came up is Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert. Now, I already know I like Talia Hibbert. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, just that one. That's a series of 3 books about the Brown sisters. I do intend to finish that series because I really enjoyed Get a Life, Chloe Brown. So this is by Talia Hibbert. It is Merry Inkmas. It is, I think there's some age gap. I think Grumpy Sunshine. It looks like it's about a story of a guy who owns a store and his employee Bailey Cash is the owner. Um, it's a shorter novella length. I like that. I like to just check a thing out. Plus, like I said, I love Talia Hibbert, so I think it'll be cute. I know she's a good writer. I already know I like her. Plus, it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm just gonna check it out and see if I like it, and go more. I think it's just under 200 pages, so it's a cute little novella length. All right, so another one that looked kind of cute is the Holiday Honeymoon Switch by Julia McKay. So this when I was reading the summary about this, it kind of reminded me of one of my favorite holiday movies, The Holiday, the one with Cameron Diaz and oh my God, I'm blanking on her name, Rose on Titanic. Anyway, sorry, love her too. But and when they switch places, they find it online, the a holiday swap, and then they have their little romances and they're connected in some way. So if you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's really cute. It's good for this time of year. I'll probably be watching it soon. It is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Anyways, so this one is similar in concept where two friends switch places. Now, one friend, I think her name is Holly, she's about to get married and gets dumped. So she has this honeymoon planned. So she has a friend who's like a doppelganger. And she has a cabin. Her name is Ivy. So what they do is they swap. So Ivy goes on the honeymoon trip so her friend doesn't have to go and be sad after getting dumped before her wedding. And then Holly goes to the cabin that Ivy was going to spend the time. I think it's over the holidays. Well, it is called the holiday honeymoon switch, so hopefully. Anyway, so of course they both meet prospective partners in each one. I think one of them has an ex, so it's a second chance, and another one is a hot bartender, I guess, from what I was reading. So just looking forward. Like I said, I like to have good characters, but also a little bit lighter too for the holidays. So let's see if I like this one too. All right. So the last holiday book that I intend to read this month is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. Now, I've been seeing Megan Quinn's name around. I've seen this book cover around. I'm pretty sure, I don't know when it was published, but I think I saw it around last Christmas. I didn't read a ton of holiday books last Christmas, so I'm looking forward to reading some holiday books this year. So this one is supposed to be like an enemies to lovers thing. So there's a guy and it said town nemesis moves in next door to take care of her aunt, I think. And I think she's more bubbly and he's a little grumpy. And I think it's a grumpy sunshine kind of thing, forced proximity kind of thing. So they each get into this holiday competition that's going on in the town. And you know how those kind of things go. So it's basically a little rom com. So I'm going to see if I like it and, check out some Megan Quinn, who is an author that I haven't read yet. So I always like to read authors that I haven't read, but I also like to read authors that I have read. So the next two books on my list are not holiday books, but they are authors that I already know. The first one I want to read is Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. Now, I read There. He writes Native American stories about the experience of in today. So it's not historic. Well, there might be some historical, but not like back in the day history that we know of the genocide that happened in our country. Um, but it's about people today and how how the history has really impacted and what's going on today in the Native American different communities. And honestly, I haven't read a lot about that. So when I read There, it was quite interesting to me because it was something new, a new genre that I hadn't really leaned into. I would say it's considered literary fiction, which I do love, like I said at the beginning. These stories are a little sad, but I think it's important to learn about different people and different cultures and different experiences, and especially what's happened in our country. I think it's important for us to acknowledge it and read into it. I don't read that everything I read that, but I want to stay connected to that also. So I like to mix that in. So this one does, if you've read this Wandering Stars picks up with some of the characters at the end of the events of There and shows like kind of like the falling out from that or kind of what happens from that. And then there's also other characters that it's about. This is just from like the little reading I did about it. And also what I like about it is there's several POVs. Now, having multiple POVs can go either way, right? It can be confusing. It can feel like you're bouncing all over the place. You're in different people's heads. But I think Tommy Orange writes that well. I felt like when I read There with the multiple POVs, I was able to follow and it didn't feel confusing or like too much. So I'm expecting that also with Wandering Stars. So I'm going to give that one a try this month. So, a bit on the lighter side of an author that I love is Ellen Hildebrand. I got it here. I don't often have physical books, but I happen to have this one because I recently joined Book of the Month. And this was an option. And since I have been reading Ellen Hildebrand, I actually first read the Five-Star Weekend, I think it's called. And so I wanted to explore her backlist. I'll be honest, sometimes she has some misses for me, but a lot of her books are hits. She's done with her Nantucket. She was writing that for years and years. This is a book she has written with her daughter, Shelby Cunningham. So I want to check it out. I love mother-daughter things. I have three grown adult daughters who are the loves of my life. And so, I always love a good mother-daughter exploration. I don't think it's about them, but they wrote it together, so that's kind of cool. So what it's about, it's got drama. I think it's leans YA. It's about a boarding school. There's secrets and scandals and multiple POVs again. So let's see how it is. Ellen Hildebrand goes way back. I don't know how much of this she wrote and how much her daughter, how collaborative it is, but I'm looking forward to checking it out and see. It's been on my TBR for a while since it came out earlier this year. Okay, so that's one. Now, the next one is a curiosity pick for me. Um, I want to read now. Okay, so this is a little dark romance. I dip into that some, not tons. I like I said, I like to move around in genre. I've read some Sophie Lark. I like her. I feel like I like light dark romance, if that makes sense. I follow some dark romance channels that I like and learn about just because I'm curious. I just have curiosity about it, and every now and then I want to dip into it. So this book is by an author that I haven't read yet. It's Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I don't know. I've just kind of seen it around in the talks, the book talk or the book tubes and all the things. And I actually had a friend from the book club that I was just talking about who likes to read the spicy stuff. She talked about this book. She actually didn't like this book, but I wanted to give it a shot because I oftentimes we have different tastes, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll like it. So, like I said, it's a dark romance. There is age gap. It could be a little creepy. If it gets really creepy, I'll probably DNF TBH, but we'll see. I'm gonna try it. Like I said, it's a curiosity pick. Now, the last book I'm going to talk about today is a book that I actually started back in September. It's basically this epic tome. Um, and I chose it because I don't know if any of you guys do the 52 book club reading challenge. I like to do that. I've been doing that last couple of years. The September mini this year was to read a book that's longer than any other book. And it took me a while to find this book because I had read like almost a 900-page book earlier in the year, Order of the Phoenix. So I was like, oh great, I got to find something really long. So I kept doing research into different ones, and I landed on The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I am enjoying it. I'm around, you can see I'm in the 300s. It's like I said, it's 1,000 pages. I started in September. I don't read this every day. I read some before bed usually. But I really just want to finish it up by the end of the year. That's the thing with me in the 52 book club. I do try to finish the books. Last year, I didn't finish all the books within the year, but I do all the main challenge prompts plus the minis and stuff. So I'm actually close. I might finish it this year. I don't know. If I have a few books left to do in January, that's fine. But anyway, I want to finish this. This is an epic tale. There's a guy, it's a medieval story. There's a guy who builds cathedrals, and it's his story. There's just a lot of political intrigue of the time. It was well researched. Ken Follett, I think, from what I remember, his back when I was younger, wrote like thrillers and stuff. But I read this thing where he got really fascinated with cathedrals in the UK. I guess that's where he's from, and he would go explore them on weekends and stuff, and just ended up writing this. And it's very well researched about the time and about different cathedrals and how they're built and all that. So I thought it'd be interesting. I will say I do like it. It's enjoyable. There's a lot of characters, and so that's something I like, is to really get into the mind of characters. There is multiple POVs, not tons. But I actually like it, and I'm looking forward to finishing it. I don't know if I'll continue with the series or not. It's kind of big and hefty. Maybe if I'm in the mood, I will. I know there are more books in this. But anyway, so the last book for today is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, and I want to finish that by the end of December. All right, so that's my December TBR for now, as where we stand. It's coming up, and so yeah, let me know, what are you reading in December? What are your favorite holiday books maybe? I would love more recommendations for holiday books if you've been reading them, or if you have some faves, or tell me in the comments about what you're hoping to read in December. I like it all. I just want to keep reading and having fun and sharing and building community. Okay, guys, I will see you on the next vid. Take care. Oh, hey there. Since I always forget, I'll let Miss Mischief handle this.